Yo, what's up, guys? Milan have been busy in the transfer market. Before we talk about the departures, let's talk about Milan's new signing today. Milan have signed Adrien Rabiot from Marseille for 10 million euros. Rabiot will sign a 4-year contract, guys, making 5 million euros a year. Now, guys, what can we say about Adrien Rabiot? I think this is a very good signing by AC Milan. Getting a player like Adrien Rabiot for 10 million euros is a bargain of a deal, guys, if you ask me. Now, Rabiot is a very strong midfielder, I think, guys. I think he's big. He's got good IQ. He scored 9 goals last year for Marseille, having 4 assists on top of that. He's obviously underplayed under Max Allegri, of course. He's won a Scudetto, a Coppa Italia. He's won 5 League One titles. He actually scored 8 goals 1 year at Juventus. So Rabiot has a goal-scoring touch, which is very good, of course, something that we didn't really see in a player such as Musa, of course, who I'm going to talk about later on, who he's replacing. But I think Rabiot, guys, for the money that they're getting him for, the experience he brings to the team, he understands Allegri's tactics, he knows Serie A. I think this is a great move to complete Milan's midfield, guys. And now you got 6 strong midfielders in Milan's midfield, guys, compared to last season, where you had Musa you were relying on a lot last year. It was very difficult watching Milan's midfield only playing Fofana and Reinders majority of the season. Milan's defense was very weak because of the midfield being weak on top of it. So the defense and the midfield suffered a lot last year, and I think this year now the midfield is a lot more stronger with guys like Rabiot joining the team and obviously bigger players like Fofana, Cheek, and Modric, of course, right? So these are the type of midfielders Allegri likes. He likes big, strong midfielders like Rabiot. The only problem I have now with Rabiot coming into the team, a player that Allegri really wanted, of course, is I'm concerned for players like Samuel Ricci, of course, a young Italian international who deserves playing time. Archie Deshari is going to be out for 3 months. But what happens when he comes back? That will be a big question mark as well, because we all know Allegri, once he gets fixated on certain players and a certain system, he keeps it that way. Clearly with Cheek scoring, he's not coming out of the 11th. So if you guys ask me, Fofana's in danger of losing his starting spot with Rabiot coming in. Allegri, I think, prefers him over Fofana maybe. So we'll have to wait and see what Allegri does, guys. But I think Rabiot is versatile as well. He also can play as a right midfielder. He's done that under Allegri. He's played that for the French national team for Didier Deschamps. So Rabiot, guys, versatile, strong midfielder, can score goals, will obviously help replace Reinders' goals. Obviously, Reinders had a massive season last year. So Rabiot scoring 9 goals for Marseille is going to be a massive benefit for Milan. Bringing a goal-scoring touch can help on the defensive side as well. Strong box midfielder. So I think this is a fantastic signing. Milan are benefiting this signing. Obviously, what happened with the big burst up that he had with Jonathan Rowe, who signed with Bologna last week. They had a massive clash in the locker room. If you guys did not know about that, those two had a big fight in the locker room after the first game of the season, forcing Marseille to put them both on the market, and Milan were able to take advantage of this opportunity in getting Rabiot for 5 million less than Marseille asked for. They wanted 15 million just a few days ago. Milan to get this player for 10 million euros, I think is a great bit of business by the club. Now, the player that Rabiot is replacing, Musa, who's going to Atalanta on loan with an option to buy for 25 million euros. I think that was a good move by Milan. I think it was a necessary move for not only the club, but the player as well. We have seen what Musa has been for the last 2 seasons. A player with a lot of potential, but an extremely frustrating player. To not score a bloody goal for Milan, guys, in 2 seasons is absolutely insane to me. Musa had many opportunities to score goals, many opportunities to take advantage of starting times, but he never took advantage of his opportunities. Very similar to what happened with Noah Okafor. Just did not take advantage when he was given the opportunity to. When he was in midfield, great with the ball carrying skills, moving it up the field, but we all saw every time Musa got into the final third, he would screw up everything. It was very frustrating to see this player get into the 18-yard box. You knew right away once he had the ball, the play was either dying or he's going to miss the net or the goalie's going to save it. It was one thing after another with this player, especially after what he did in the Champions League, getting that red card against Zagreb, really screwing Milan over last year in the Champions League. Just a very frustrating player. I think Musa's biggest memory at Milan will be at Allegri snapping at him on Friday when he told him to calm down and not throw the ball in quickly. That was probably Musa's best moment at AC Milan, and his most memorable moment was when Allegri snapped at him on the sidelines on Friday. This is a player, guys, that I wish panned out for this club. He wanted to come to Milan a few summers ago, got the move, but just never panned out for the club. And I think this is the right decision to move on from this player. He played well as a right wing back. He was okay at times, guys, but just the player I felt it was time to move on from. You get an upgrade in Rabiot, a player that gives you way more certainty than Yunus Musa. I wish him luck at Atalanta. Hopefully he plays well enough so Milan get 25 million euros. They get a bit of profit if Atalanta do buy him. So I think it was the right move for him and the club, guys. I wish him nothing but the best, but a very frustrating player with a lot of skill and a lot of potential, but just never reached it at a club like AC Milan. And unfortunately, this is why they moved on from the player. Now, another player that Milan will move on from is Alex Jimenez, of course, going to Bournemouth on loan. Obviously, with an option to buy, that becomes an obligation after 18 appearances, guys. So Real Madrid approved the deal. Milan lets him go to Bournemouth. Obviously, if you guys heard me from a few videos ago, Jimenez, unfortunately, came to training late a few times. You know, he also got a yellow card, like I mentioned last time, against Cremonese. He probably rubbed Allegri the wrong way. The player himself apparently pushed the move to Bournemouth to probably get more playing time. He noticed that you got guys like Salamakers. They bought off Akami. You got Rabiot now. You got Bartesaghi and Stupin on the left. He probably felt he can go to Bournemouth and replace Kyrkes and get starting minutes, of course. And that's very understandable. He's a young player. He wants to get game time and get experience. Totally understand. I like this play. I liked him as a young player. I thought he was really good at times for Milan last season. Really came in and helped the team out when we had a lot of injuries, of course. So I think he has a lot of potential, but there's clearly some attitude issues with Jimenez. So clearly Allegri didn't want to deal with it. Wanted to get rid of the player. Prefers other players in his position, of course. So the club decided with Real Madrid, maybe it's best to let him go out to Bournemouth and get more playing time. And that's totally understandable, guys. So I wish Jimenez nothing but the best. Didn't play very much at the club. He only played like 30 matches for the club. So hopefully he does well at Bournemouth. But it could remind me as well of what happened to Kyrkes leaving Milan, and he ends up benefiting off the move, and he ends up becoming a very good young player, making a big move to another club. But we'll see what happens. He's not our problem anymore. I wish Jimenez nothing but the best in England. Now, speaking of England, there's been some talk about Milan going after Liverpool center back Joe Gomez. Of course, Milan have made a 15 million euro offer to Liverpool. It all hinders on if Liverpool are able to buy Mark Gay from Crystal Palace, of course. Liverpool's captain, of course, he scored today as well for Palace. So Liverpool just bought Isak for 130 million euros. If they buy Mark Gay, they're going to let Joe Gomez come to Milan. And then after, guys, that'll be the last position Milan will need to fill in the defense. I'll get more into the Joe Gomez deal, guys, when it becomes official. But it sounds like Milan are courting the center back, the English center back. He will be the last defender that they buy, 15 million euros possibly. We'll see if they get the deal done. Tomorrow's the last day of transfer deadline day. I expect some news regarding that transfer. And who knows if Milan does anything else. It doesn't seem like they will. Both Dick and Jimenez, there was a possibility of a swap. It seems like that's blocked at the current moment. Who knows what they do regarding that situation. I think it would be a mistake for Milan to give up on Santiago Jimenez after 6 bloody months. It would be a major, major mistake. If you want to get Bovdik on loan to help challenge Jimenez, sure. But you already bought in Kuku. You got Jimenez. You're playing once a week. I don't think it would be right if the club, if you got 3 strikers and then one of them just rots on the bench. That would be malpractice if you guys ask me. But we'll wait and see what happens tomorrow on transfer deadline day. Milan have been quite busy the last 24 hours or so. They got the squad almost complete for the season, guys. With international break, Milan can get these players acclimatized to the team, get to learn Allegri's tactics that they don't want international break. I like what they've done so far, but there's also been some frustrations in this market. I'll talk about that probably tomorrow if Milan does make the Joe Gomez deal official. Thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, if you like this video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Forza Milan sempre, as always, guys. And remember, if you do not watch sports, you're on more. Ciao, guys.